and this is the voice of women. And this is Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing great today. Today is a Tuesday already. It's the 23rd day in the month of September 2025. And, we just have a few more days to wrap up this month. By next week, Tuesday, we're already saying goodbye to September. So, yeah, I hope that, we're going to have the best of the rest of this month. All right, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Welcome to the program HerLens right here on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. HerLens is a program where we get to have ladies from different geopolitical zones join us to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. And it comes to you Mondays through Fridays from 9:05 a.m. Right, and we get to do this with the ladies of HerLens. Okay, so this morning I have Buki Femi Ajola joining me this morning. Good morning, Buki. How are you today?
Yes, Buki is doing great, and I want to thank God for that. And how are you doing as well? And also, our HerLens family, wherever you are, like I say, on the surface of the earth. How are you also doing? I hope you're good, and you're keeping fit. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Buki, for joining us. So, unfortunately, Binabo says she might not be able to join us this morning. I'm sure that, maybe another responsibility. As yesterday, we could congratulate her, say she don't bag the PRO again for. So maybe some other things, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to support her like that. And whenever she's available, I'm sure that she would always join us. So hopefully, Susan gets to join us too, pretty much. Though Susan too said yesterday she's in a bad run for a particular event, so hopefully she gets to join us pretty much soon. All right, so you who are listening, we sincerely appreciate each and every one of you who get to join us every morning right here on HerLens. Okay, so you can be a part of the program by dialing 07000 917 917. You can also go ahead and dial the number 09155 917 917, or you can send us WhatsApp messages to 07031756537 or 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on the program HerLens. All right, so yesterday on HerLens, I wish Ibinabo was here with us, because yesterday I know she had a lot to say, but because of our time, she was not able to go through with a lot of her comments that she wanted to say. So I just wish she was here with us. But yesterday, we started off with this particular link that we got, which was talking about over 650 kidneys illegally harvested in Nigeria, worth $41 billion in global market, a black market. And this is coming from a professor from the Bayero University in Kano. And, he's also a consultant at the Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital. And he was the one that revealed that between 2015 to 2020, at least 651 kidneys have been illegally, taken from the owners and sold in the global black market, which has estimated to over $41 billion. Okay, so he said this in Abuja during a particular event, and he mentioned some things that could be the cause of it. And but yesterday when we started talking about it, we mentioned a couple of things too, and I can remember Buki saying that it's we're looking at it from the trees, the leaves. Meanwhile, the root is there. Okay, so if we don't deal with the root cause of it, then we could just be talking and making noise. Meanwhile, nothing is happening. Or we could see other branches. Even if you cut it off in the middle, it will still grow branches. It will still grow. So if we don't address it from the roots, and all of that. So Buki, we'll just take it up from there and actually look at it, because at the end of the day, a lot of young girls, a lot of women fall victims of this. Sometimes knowingly, sometimes they don't even know. Because I mean, a good number of times here on HerLens, we'll come and talk about, oh, how a lady's body was found without her breast, without her private parts, and sometimes we don't even know if some internal organs are gone. So we get to hear a lot of these things. But I think over the weekend I was discussing with my dad, and he was saying that, well, do we actually learn? Because almost every day you get to hear, oh, a young girl traveled to go and see her boyfriend and died. A young girl did this one and died. And he was just like, it's like these days, nobody wants to hear about genuine love. Nobody wants to hear about, genuine affection. But instead, we're looking at how to cheat one another and just get what we want. So, maybe an average Nigerian guy who is just growing up is looking at how, oh, this lady, she's fine, she's good though. Her body parts will be it will be good for this, will be good for that. That's just where their mind goes to. So what is Nigeria turning into? Where are we heading to? And now we're looking at it, which is quite scary, So I would just want us to revisit this issue again, look at some of the problems. The professor here mentioned poverty. The professor here mentioned how we don't actually maybe give we don't actually take note of the health implications that comes with sometimes giving out your kidney, and a whole lot of other issues. And I think Ibinaba also mentioned, and Susan also mentioned, that there are other groups involved. It's not just the person. There are other groups involved. There are people who are like the middle men in between. So all of this, if we don't cover it all together, where are we heading to? So I just want us to revisit this. Like I said, Buki, what do we do? How do we get out of this? How do we go back to that root and probably try to uproot it and make ourselves have this full awareness that not every money is good money. If you have to lose your kidney, and at the end of the day, maybe go ahead and lose your life for it.
Okay, let's start by this. Talking about the roots, it's still part, the root has gone, deeper, and it has spread its tentacles everywhere.
Yeah.
And picking it from where you should I use the word napped, where you talked about poverty. We all know that it's a brutal fact. Nigeria is a very rich country, but Nigerians, when you look at their income, we still say most of us are poor because of the way we live, and we are ready to do anything for money. Particularly for this kidney thing, a lot is going under the radar, black market, and that's why that statistics is showing those figures. It's about the organs that are trafficked or whatever it is. The one that tops most is kidney, because you can still be alive, and donate, and you'll still be alive. Because if you have good kidneys, God gave us two, you can actually still live with one. So that is why it is so high. We now need, if we really want to talk about this and come up with practical solutions that will reduce, we might not be able to say zero, but reduce it drastically, then one of the roots that we must actually uproot: education, awareness. Not many people are aware of the rigor that you have to go through.
Yeah.
Because you have to go through surgery. Then after surgery, even your mental stress, you need to still go through a bit of therapy, counseling to take you through, and then your recuperation. Do we have that? Do they even tell that to the people? If we really also want to do this, right now the government is doing a whole lot on trafficking. NAPTIC is doing all kinds of awareness program, in different languages, so that everybody would understand, right? So that even when they come with their dainties and things like that, you know that I understand. They have taught me that you people, you are not good. We need to begin to do that also in different languages where that people will understand. So when they come to say, oh, hey, you can sell this, and the amount is high. When they say, oh,
It is.
yeah, it's high. So somebody who is looking for money to probably set up a business, or to some financial needs that nobody is around to even help you, and you begin to hear of 2 million, 3 million, funny amounts, for different categories anyway, you will fall for it. But they will not tell you the after effect, and even you yourself will not. Even if you ask to say, I hope you not die, the best thing they'll say is that I hope you not die. Oh, no, say no, you will not die. You probably just have to rest a bit, and and then they'll give you lovely stories that you yourself will feel is okay. But that should not be it. How many people go back to go and research, to say, okay, this was what happened to somebody who donated a kidney. Now, we even have stories of people that will come out to say, yes, someone donated, I donated, and this was what I went through. You understand? So that people can learn. That's why I talk about education and awareness, right?
Yeah.
That's one route we have to cut. Then, if truly government is really, really serious, like I said, the bigger route, because an average person who has not even eaten, who does not know much, will not even venture into this kind of trade. This is a global trade, cross-country trade. I was reading through it, and it talks about 41 billion, which you mentioned, global market trade. Globally in 2023, I mean, that's the best record I also got. Globally, 172,000 organs.
Wow.
Hello?
It's a lot.
Sorry,
yes.
can you still hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
I was wondering what happened. Okay.
Yes,
so I was, but you can hear me.
Yes,
172,000, organs were transplanted. And then he's even talking about Nigeria. Even that 650 he was talking about is
that was just between 2015 to 2020 now. So imagine where we are now.
You can imagine. And of course, those figures, I'm sure it's going to be more than that. That we are not aware of. You understand? Because we know that we don't keep data. There's no record where you want to say, okay, you are keeping data, you want to go and check and all that. So these ones that he's even talking about are the ones that possibly, they went through the official records. What about those that did not pass through, the official records? Susan is looking yummy.
Thank you. I thought I was the only one that
noticed. Good morning.
I was saying, who is this damn cell? All right. I'm telling you. So, and then of course the illicit trade, based on the figures we have, is 10,000 that are sold annually. Black market. You understand? So when we are talking about this, we need to really look at, if government is really, really serious to cop this, they need to be able to step on toes. Like I said, a common man is a recruiter, is a messenger. He's not the one that will set up the business, because you have to have money to set up that business, because these things are life organs. So it's not something that you want to put into a polythene bag and carry. The environment has to be cool, it has to be controlled, you understand? And then of course it's going through countries, so it's going to go through all the checks, the borders. So are you telling me it's just one common man that is looking for 10,000 or that is looking for 500,000 that will come and do this? That was why I said we need to go to the root. But you see, you can trace the roots from the tree, from the leaves. You understand? Like those creeping trees. You can, if you really take your time, you can trace it. Because one, we're talking about the value chain. I was saying that yesterday. We were looking at the recruiters. Those are the common men. I mean, the common men, the recruiters, because they also get commission. So they are the ones that will go and look for vulnerable people that are poor, that don't have an idea of what they are saying. But they just say, okay, Shabi, I will leave. I will use herbs. Okay. And of course, there are success stories, no doubt about it. I mean, people have that's not, so they will camp around that. But they will forget to tell them that those that actually went through that process legally, they had that aftercare support. They had that aftercare support, which they would not give them. Even ordinary blood. I mean, we've had cases of people saying, okay, they can ask them for blood donation and all that and all that. At the end of the day, they did not even give them anything. No blood, no multiplied, nothing. You understand? So we've had, and we don't have to shy away from that. You talk about, the healthcare workers. Who does this? Even if the person is not qualified, you understand? But there's a setup. Somebody sets that place up.
Of course.
Somebody set that place up. And I know that even this one that we're talking about, they are not qualified or whatever. Some of them are qualified, it's just that they are corrupt. Then we talk about the criminal networks, because it's cross-country.
It is.
Cross borders. So we talk about the criminal networks and the organized crime groups, because we're talking about money here. And globally, there is a shortage of organs. Globally, there is a shortage. So people are looking for it. So it's an issue of set up that business in a country where it is not regulated, where anything goes. You understand? And then another value chain is, what about the other people in the other country? They call them facilitators and fixers. They are the ones that will arrange, your transport, your care, and everything. Then, of course, we have to talk about the wealthy recipients. A good case is our Ekuremadu. When you have the money, but you want to siphon it, you want to sideline, all that. I mean, we all know what happened. And thankfully, if not that the hospital did their due diligence. Yes, there's another story that probably the boy, wanted to just play a fast one, whatever it is, based on the information we have. He was not 100%, knowledgeable of what they were going to do, which also has to do with poverty and greed. Because if you are poor, what would you be doing in that kind of transaction? You understand? What would you be doing in that kind of transaction? Yeah. So these are the value chain that if they really want to curb it, that is it. But self-responsibility now comes on each and every one of us.
Of course.
Yes, we can keep talking to the government that make things easy for people so that people will be wise. You understand? But at the same time, can we also educate ourselves, right? Can we also listen to what people are saying, right? And then even when they come and meet us or whatever it is, let's do our due diligence to be sure that these things, we don't fall victim of it. But honestly speaking, I think the government has to do more.
Has a lot more to do.
I know there is this thing that they brought in 2025, standard, something about national standards and guidelines to tighten oversight of it, aside from the bill you cited, which was 2014. The
Yeah.
issue is these clinics that are doing it, have they clamped them down? How often are the inspectors going? Right? Do they even have whistle blowing system where a nurse can say, I know this doctor, this is what he does. Many a times people have come out to say, oh, we even had, okay, I think there's a call coming. You want to pick it up?
Yes, we have a call. Yes, please, let's take it. Hello, good morning. Hi, good morning. Good morning. You're very much welcome. Yes, we can hear you clear. Please go ahead. Good morning, Mr. Soboyo. Please go ahead.
So, yesterday I tried calling in, but I guess there was no time. The discourse you're having this morning brings a lot of to my mind. One, so if we're saying we're advocating this, I think we should, in line with our thoughts, take up a couple of things here. It is bad, we know. So you're asking yourself, when and when did we lose our morality and empathy as persons that we would even supervise our own affliction because of this get rich quick or die syndrome? That's number one. Number two, is it the same government that has weaponized poverty over the years for campaign purposes and are allegedly having active persons plying this trade that we want to come and nip in the bud that which they've also been profiteering from, allegedly? I'm using that word carefully now. And finally, from kidnapping to missing persons to ritualists, organ harvesters, it's a whole racketeering and profiting. So how do we annihilate this practice to dissuade somebody, someone somewhere who is intending to go this way or this route? What people expect those now to say, okay, don't go in this manner because of your life, because of tomorrow will be better? Not exactly. Because before you tell somebody, don't do this, there should be something to say, if you do this, this would happen. But then I can support you with this. It's a whole lot. Once again to the ladies this morning. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Oboli, for calling and lending your voice to this. And Buki, you heard what she said. Like, it's a whole, it's like, if I don't even know how to describe it, but there's just a lot going on. So that means there's a lot of work to do. Are we looking at organ harvesting? Are we looking at ritual killings? Are we looking at, so there's a lot that goes on in this whole, is it community, I will call it now, because I don't even know how else to describe it. But you were rounding up your thoughts on this, Buki. Let's get to hear your rounding thoughts on it.
Okay, yeah. So essentially, I was just looking at why the government should actually look at this thing and what they need to do if they have to trace it to the root, to break it down into the nitty-gritty. And in conclusion, I know you'll still come back to come and discuss that. Okay, what are the things that we now need to do in practical, right? But then we also now need to let the government know that they need to step on toes. This is each man's business. So who are these big men that are doing it, right? It's not just for them to catch the drivers, the agents, the those who would carry the routes, logistics, because logistics people are also part of the team. They're the ones that carry it. You understand? So it's a whole lot of value chain that is there.
It's just a lot. It's just a lot.
Guys, those who are in charge, the pins. What are they doing?
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Buki, for your submission on this. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. If you don't go and catch the roots people, those who are making things happen, then all the other ones that you might just be We'll just keep going in circles. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and it's about 28 minutes to 10 on the side of the radio. This is the program HerLens, where we have ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. And we've just heard from Buki. When we come back, hopefully we get to have Susan back so that we get to hear from her, on the way forward. All right, you want to stay tuned. This is your Women Radio WFM 91.7.
Something big is coming with Better Play. Get ready to turn 500 naira into a 200,000 naira daily jackpot. Yes, you heard me right. 200,000 naira every single day. The more tickets you grab, the higher your chances of winning. Stay tuned, because this is the game changer you've been waiting for, coming to you on Women Radio 91.7 FM. Are you ready to play and win big?
Ndị be anyị, ihe okwu eruola o, ego na-ezo dịka mmiri ozuzo. Better play, better chance. 200,000 naira nwere ike ịbanye n'aka gị taa. Gee kwantị, ugboro atọ n'ụbọchị, aha ndị mmeri ga-apụta live na redio. Naanị 500 naira ka ị nwere ike iji merie ruo 200,000 naira kwa ụbọchị. Sonye na Better Play ugbu a ma gee ekwentị na redio ma ọ kụọ elekere 10 nke ụtụtụ, elekere 2 nke ehihie na elekere 6 nke abalị kwa ụbọchị. A gị nwere ike bụrụ nke a kpọrọ Bụkwa n'oge, mee ngwa ngwa zụta tiketi gị ugbu a. Zụta tiketi gị na www.betterplay.ng maọbụ pịa *347*154#. Ịchọọ ime ka ohere gị bawanye, ị nwere ike ịzụta tiketi ruru 20. Mee ngwa ngwa soro anyị na Facebook @betterplay, na Instagram @betterplayng maka ozi ọhụrụ. Oge iji emeri ego a eruola. Ị nwere ike ịbụ onye mmeri taa. Better Play bụ naanị maka ndị toruru afọ 18 ma ọ bụ karịa. Sonye egwuregwu a n'ụzọ ziri ezi.
Kí ló ń sún ọpọ́n ìrẹsì jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù lọ sípele ìgbádùn tó ga? Ṣé tí wọ́n bá sè é pẹ̀lú kóró náà fún àdùn tó kà màmá yẹn ni? Tàbí tẹ́ ẹ bá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó sàláàdì Nàìjíríà, èso kábéèjì, kárọ̀tì, lẹ́tùsì, àtẹ̀wà oníkíndìnrín díẹ̀.
Ó ní láti jẹ́ méjèèjì. Ṣé jollof rice rẹ pẹ̀lú àdùn kóró náà kí o wá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀fọ́. Ó yá, jẹ́ kí o fún oúnjẹ rẹ gbé pẹ́ẹ́lí. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
See, everybody with his own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that. My peak breakfast with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with a peak breakfast. Have you had your tea? Reach for your peak.
Incredible.
Abuja,
Nigeria.
Vow 2025 with Nigerian women and the power of collective action on Thursday, 2nd October 2025 in Abuja, Nigeria. The 9th edition of the Voice of Women Conference and Awards, Vow 2025, will be the deal breaker for Nigeria's journey of inclusion. You don't want to miss it.
Vow 2025 from the stables of Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, supported by the MacArthur Foundation, First Bank, LIRS, and NIMASA.
Has been put together to help you redirect your energy, connect with your inner self, and step into power. Join us for this life-changing and impactful seminar with the team Pause to Power, Disrupting the Drift, on the 18th of October 2025, time 6 p.m., where Dr. Olufumilayo Akinola, a consultant addiction psychiatrist of the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, Lagos, Dr. Rotimiolu Akinlesi, permanent secretary and team lead, Encouragement Initiative, and Ambrose Oluta Shomide will be walking you through how to get the spark back for a more purpose-driven life. You don't want to miss this session. Note that this is a virtual seminar. For registration details, call Tumishe on 0802-811-9509 or Isioma on 0808-657-0100. EMAP 002, a journey to self-discovery.
The
alájà. Mọ́mí àná yẹn padà wá sí ṣọ́ọ̀pù mà. Wọ́n ní kí n fún wọn ní ẹ̀dínwó nínú owó léèsì, aṣọ òkè àti brocade tí wọ́n rà. Ẹ ṣé kí n fún wọn ní ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ kí ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀.
Ṣukura, ṣo ní kírẹ́dìtì ni?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà, MTN Better Gist ni mò ń lò mà. Ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ kì í ṣe nǹkan bàbàrà mọ́ pẹ̀lú ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́fà tó fi sọ̀rọ̀. MTN máa bù yín ní ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́ta sí i pé *123*2*1# tàbí kí o tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ PG sí 312. Ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn o. Àwọn òfin àti ìlànà wà.
Lunch vibes. Every music note counts, aligning with lyrics and rhythm. Words soothing to the ears, voices and melodies with the best vibes ever. That's Lunch Vibes on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
I know your mind bullets. You know I'm just that size. No, them no big deal.
Sell your market on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Are you a member of our Women Radio Network? Are you a trader? Do you own a business? Do you want to increase your sales? I have good news for you. To sell your market free at no charge every Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Call 07000 917 917 or 9155 917 917 or 800 1235 917. Sell your market and connect with customers far and wide for free. This is only for Women Radio Network members. Follow us on social media, Facebook, X, and YouTube at WFM 917.
Women Radio 91.7, breaking the culture of silence.
All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. This is the voice of women, Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. And of course, this is still the program HerLens right here on Women Radio. HerLens is a program where we get to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Women Radio. Okay, so we have been looking at the issue of organ harvesting, that a particular professor is drawing all our attention to it, whether we like it or not. It's like a booming business, $1 billion business, and it's not just here, in the country, it's everywhere. So how do we keep ourselves safe? How do we keep our young ones safe from making decisions that will later hurt them? I mean, we've had stories of people who donate their kidney on their own. No, they donate their kidney. Later in life, they will want to tell the person, give me back my kidney. I don't want to do it again. So, I mean, it could be funny when we read some of these things. It could be funny. And sometimes because of love, oh, I love you. You give out your kidney. And when the love fails or when you've broken up, you're not saying that, come and give me back my kidney. I'll not do it again. All these things are funny. But, I mean, some bad people have decided to use that as a business. And whether we like it or not, we still have people who are being pushed to do this just because of the economic situation, just because of how they find themselves as a family. And so for some people, maybe just trying to make ends meet, maybe just trying to save one situation or the other, they find themselves as a last resort. This is where they tend to just say, okay, it'd be like, I don't get any other choice. Now this one I go do because nobody won't help me. Nobody wants to look into this. But is this right? Are you getting the right, appropriate care after it? So I mean, Buki mentioned a lot of people who might be involved. I mean, different people who might be involved in this. And if we don't deal with it from the root cause of it, then I mean, we'll just be running around in circles. All right, Buki. So I think Susan is pretty much occupied this morning. With the way she's looking good, I just knew that no, Susan is not. She's not just in one place, but Buki, thank you very much for taking us into different aspects of that conversation. I just hope that's what we've listened and we're able to learn from it, because sometimes from the recruiters to those that will transport, to those that will do the operation, to those that will do that will pay the victims of this process, to those that would lure the victims of this, it's a whole lot. We just hope that the government will do a lot more. And I'm hoping that people get to realize that this is not the last resort. This cannot be the last resort. This cannot be the last resort. I mean, a lot of things happen, and sometimes you just feel that's just the end of the road for you. But, I think there's probably a lot of other options that can actually come up for one when you seek it. The good book says, seek and you shall find. So when you keep seeking, one day, the answer will come. It might not come as you want it, when you want it, but it will definitely come to you. All right, so we'll just leave that conversation at that and head on to the next conversation this morning. You can be a part of the program by dialing 07000 917 917. Do well to send us a WhatsApp message to 0703 1756537. You can also do well to send us WhatsApp message on the second number 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on the program HerLens. All right, Buki, let's look at this one that seems a bit funny, but sometimes I think it's just what a lot of people have in mind when we look at what is happening, in times like this. Now, this particular post that we have here. Oh, now I understand what you're saying, Buki, that we repeated the same the same link twice. So I meant to talk about the one that said that if the man is working and the woman too is working, they both have jobs. Now, is it right for them to split the bills 50-50, or do you think that the man should still handle all the bills in the house? So this conversation is not a today conversation. Even now that women are saying we too, we want to be on the table, we deserve a seat on the table. So now, okay, and then the men are saying, all right, if you want to sit on the table, come and take. But whatever you see, it has to be equal. We need to, and when we're looking at equality or looking at all of these things, this conversation will actually come up. So if you're saying that both of us need to work, if you're saying that both of us need to go out there and make ends meet, we'll come back. So are we splitting the bill 50-50, or the man still has to take up the responsibility of actually taking probably 70 and leaving 30 for the wife to take? Or how do you think this should go? Because I want to believe that whether we like it or not, this has broken a lot of relationships. It has broken a lot of marriages. It has actually made a lot of families just, go apart, be separate. And sometimes it has given different kind of notions to young girls and even to young boys who are growing up and seeing these things happen. So what is the right direction to take when it comes to this, knowing fully well that a lot of the fights that women are doing these days that we are clamoring for is 50-50. In fact, we're not even looking for 50-57. We just want to be heard. We just want to be part of decision making. We just want to be allies. But a lot of the times, you find some other men who will say, or even some women who will say, okay, since this is what we're fighting for, then we might as well just take it 50-50. But then again, there's the part of the man who will say, I'm the head, I'm supposed to do the provision, so why this? So, Buki, what's your thought on this 50-50 sharing ratio when it comes to relationships, families, and work as it is? Buki, you're muted. You can see you speaking.
Okay, thank you. I didn't even know I was muted. Okay, so I would like to come from my own perspective, and I'm drawing this based on my knowledge of God. Your views in life, right, originates from your knowledge of God. How deep you know God, the level of your relationship with God. Yes, over time, environmental factors might have come to dilute it, but even if it dilutes, the core will still go to how in depth you know of God's standard. So that is where I am coming from today, right? When it comes to the issues of marriage, that means that the man who says, I am ready to take someone in, right, to be my wife, would have assumed that status of an husbandman. When you talk about husbandry, somebody will provide, somebody will farm, somebody will take, somebody will care, somebody will protect. You have your land, that's why you are the husbandman, you are the husbandry, the person who provides, the person who takes care, the person who leads, the person who directs. So you are ready to be the provider of that institution. Because you know that it's not just the lady you are bringing in, but by the time both of you, you join hands together, what you need to do, babies will come and you have to provide. That's why they say that when you say you want to enter into the marriage institution, are you really ready? It's not about the finances alone, because finances is major as far as I'm concerned. But then we also talk about spirituality, emotional build, physical, because if you're not strong, these things can weigh you down. Well, if you're not strong, if you're not prepared. But now that I have put that premise on now, I can now talk about finances. I don't believe in let's share this thing 50-50. I don't believe it. I don't know where that is coming from. I think it's just a lie of the devil. This is my own belief. If both of you, I'm now talking about the lady and the man, both of you have agreed to go on this journey together. For the Bible, it talks about God finding an helpmeet for Adam, right? Literally, that means that I'm here also to help. Where I see there are gaps in our family, the woman will step in if you have the resources. You don't have to now sit down and sharing 50-50. What is 50-50? You are there to assist, to ensure that everyone is taken care of, because it's not just you now, it's not just the man, but the entire family. If the man has the means to take care of everything, good, God has blessed him. If he doesn't and you are earning, why must you sit down and say, let's do it 50-50? If you know it's trying, and of course the rent is due and you have the money, why don't you pay? At the end of the day, it's family. I always like people to look at it from the angle of it's family. It's not too individual, and that's why I said I'm coming from the premise of the Christian faith, because it says two shall become one. You understand? But that does not mean that the man will now say, because my wife has all the money, though I also can provide, but because of this mindset that they are saying 50-50, okay, you to know I bring 50. No, then you're not a man, then you're not a leader. Yes, the woman, you can say, okay, house feeding allowance so is this X. Then the woman can say, you know what? Okay, based on your provision, it will not buy me XYZ. Okay, I'm making money, so I can also add to that. And let's face the fact, it's not all the time that the man has. There's sometimes that the cash flow is not there. Would you now say, because we have said 50-50, okay, go and bring your own 50-50. Then you're not an helper. You should help, right? But that does not mean that the man will now lord it over you to say 50-50. And then you yourself, when it comes to help, you will not now come and say that you are not a man because I'm helping you. Once people say they want to enter into the marriage institution, they know they're fusing together and they are there to support one another.
All right, thank you very much, Buki, because at the end of the day, if we see ourselves as one, if we see ourselves as partners, if we see ourselves as, coming together to form something, then the issue of 50-50 will not even be coming up. We have so many families that at the end of the month, they bring in whatever they get together and then sit down and see how they share it. Okay, this is for food, this is for school fees, this is for this is for that. So nobody's saying it's 50-50, because it's not like it's not like you're cheating me, it's not like I'm cheating you, or it's not like we're all doing things together. So at the end of the day, is that togetherness that we are actually seeking for or looking for.
And it's just because we all have different kinds of marriage concepts. You understand?
Mm.
A whole lot of things is happening. There are some people, yes, that believe in that joint account. I mean, and they sit down and it works.
And
There
it
are
works for
some,
them.
it
Yeah.
works for them. It is because of trust, and
Mm.
they have decided that they are going to work as one. But when there is no trust, that will not work. So it depends
Mm.
on your mindset. What mindset are you bringing into the
Mm.
marriage? And for anyone who does not have a good knowledge of God, we say bring 50-50. Oh. I'm taking this one, you are taking that one. You understand? So that when
Mm.
things happen, they can work out easily and move off.
Nothing is holding them. So everybody will know this is my own, this is my own. I paid half of the rent today. I paid half of the rent next month. This month is your turn. So there's a lot of that back and forth. But at the end of the day, what works for you.
That is not how God created marriage.
Exactly. Well, we're supposed to be one. We're supposed to do things in synergy. In fact, nobody should be able to differentiate that this one is for the wife, this one is for the husband, because both of you have become one. If they see you with your husband's car today, and then they see your husband with your own car tomorrow, at the end of the day, even the people that are talking about it, you get to confuse them because they don't even know who owns what. They don't know who wants anything. Okay, so today they see you with your husband's shirt. Tomorrow you see the husband with the same shirt. Who can't get the shirt? What's it gonna concern you inside? Should be our own, our own. So I think that's just what it should be like. So it should not be the issue of 50-50. It should be the issue of how together a family is. What's the bond that brings the family together?
That
Even
is
in
the
relationship.
original
Yeah,
context. But however,
exactly.
because of so many things that have happened, you don't have to
Mm.
decide what works for you.
What works for you. True. Especially in relationships, what works for you. So don't copy A and carry and bring to B, because your first relationship, if people were doing 50-50, does not mean that the second one too will be like that. So at the end of the day, do what works for you. And just be okay. Okay, and just be okay. All right, Buki, thank you very much for being a part of it today. This has been a really great conversation with you this morning, from the organ harvesting issue to the 50-50 issue. Thank you very much for it. And yes, Vow is coming up next week. Thursday, the Voice of Women conference is coming up next week, Thursday. And something amazing happened, Buki. Just yesterday, I think Tom was in Abuja, or rather she's in Abuja, and this reserved seats bill issue, she has been following up with it because she's part of the committee. So we're trying to see that. So yesterday I was quite excited to see that Tinubu, Akpabio, and even Abbas declared support for the women's reserved seat bill. So it feels like we're winning. It feels like we're getting somewhere. So since yesterday I was excited to hear this. Yeah, so I mean,
it was good. It was good.
So I'm hoping that we'll continue to see more progress like this, and at the end of the day, it will be a win for us all to see that this has been passed. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much, Buki, for being part of the program today.
You. Bye.
Yes, of course. We'll do this again tomorrow, God willing. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Thank you so much to Mrs. Oboli that called, and to each and every one of you who tuned into HerLens this morning. Do you want to stay tuned to Women Radio? Coming up next is Radio Doctor at 10. Good morning.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1. I know. Keep it locked. Should have bought you flowers. You are. We are.